Now, some ANC members in Limpopo are being denied access to a lobby group meeting at the Ngoako Ramatlhodi sports complex in Seshego. The disgruntled group claim that unity in the party will never be achieved with the growing political intolerance. The lobby group meeting is held in support of a slate where chairperson Stan Mathabatha gets a third term and treasurer Danny Msiza, who is on the step aside to become secretary. Pelane Phakgadi joins me now to speak about some of the tensions, Pelane, and disagreements that we're seeing coming out of Limpopo.
Well, disagreements indeed. I mean, that's, I would assume, the nature of every single conference. Well, there has been work towards the conference here in Limpopo, which is scheduled to be held around the 3rd to the 5th of June. And of course, there are many requests coming in that the conference be held earlier. And earlier on, we've seen that there were a small group of individuals who wanted to gain entrance here, but then they were asked to really to leave because they felt that this lobby group is that supports the so-called slate that is led by Stan Mathabatha to have a third term, and of course, as you've already put it, the treasurer Danny Msiza to become the secretary, who's currently, of course, on a step-aside motion. Although this is not a formal ANC program, he is also not part of this particular program. But I've seen who they want to be part of the top 5. Only 4 candidates are currently here. There is Stan Mathabatha, I've seen Florence Radzilane, I've seen Vaskopa Makamu, who will be joining us just now, and I've also seen Nagedi Sivandekekana. But let's bring in Vaskopa Makamu as the provincial deputy secretary and as well as a candidate for the very same position again. Let's now talk about what I would have seen just a little bit earlier on, to me at least, which looks like political intolerance. People not allowed to come into this particular lobby group, or is it because it is your lobby meeting, therefore it's only you who agree on the slate that should only come in?
Well, thanks, Pagan. I must indicate that this meeting, myself, I'm invited as a candidate to this lobby group, Stan Mathabatha, Florence Nagedi. As to who has been invited here to us as the leadership, we may not necessarily be sure. What we know is that it's branch delegates, branch leadership, who have gone to their BGMs and nominated us as their preferred candidate. So they just said we must come and confirm our availability in this type of an arrangement. And we are here, all of us, to come and accept the nomination as we go to the conference. Because BGMs have been held, we are above 70% as a province. We have run free and fair BGMs where there was no guns, there were no knives. Everything went seamless. And that is what I think the leadership of Chupu is bringing in the province, where stability is. You have seen, Farhad, that during the 2021 local government elections, the province of Limpopo never lost even a single municipality out of his leadership that is providing to the province. So I agree with branches which says he must continue with what he has started in 2013 when he came as an intervention mechanism of the African National Congress. So I think those that were returned could be some people who can still be engaged. I don't know what was the motive of them coming, but as an invitee, I think what I saw inside went very well.
Let's talk now about the term called arrogance of numbers. To me, a number of people have come here, in their hundreds I've seen in the hall a little bit earlier on, and it may not be policy of the African National Congress, but it may have also been a tradition somewhat that there's pre-conference head counts to understand your numbers going into conference. But coming out like this, and yourself as the current and the incumbent, doesn't it not perhaps lead you guys to far away from the unity that you guys are looking for when you are continuing to support the different, well, I could say lobby groups, factions, whatever you can call it?
When you talk about unity, it's not that you talk about 100% of people agreeing. If you have more than 80% of people say this is what our view, in the ANC we always believe that the majority is the one that will be able to govern. But your view, even if small as you are, you should be heard. And I can say, out of these numbers, looking at the total expectation of delegates, that shows that the unity of the province is sacrosanct. And I can see that the people of this province, especially the leadership of branches, will want the united province. And I think it's not conference today. Those who are still have got some other views, I think comrades who are lobbying for this group will be able to accept and engage them. And I say everybody is allowed to lobby. That is how, by the time we declared that we have got the roadmap to conference, everybody is allowed. There were people who were going all over the province doing cadres forum. That was their strategy to do the lobby, and we accept that. Now we are at the stage where we are gathering delegates. I have been invited in November when they had the delegates assembly in Norman Mashaban, my region. As you can see, that is a lobby. The regional leadership of Norman Mashaban did not necessarily prefer me as a candidate. That which is not, but branches of the ANC said, we think this man should be able to continue. So we are busy lobbying, and we will lobby each and every person to be part of what we agree here.
Yeah, let's move to, just quickly from the lobbying and the delegates. As an official, seeing that over 70% of the BGMs have said, will there be a request perhaps from the PEC or at least from your office as the Secretariat that the conference be withdrawn closer, do you think?
Let me indicate that I'm the Deputy Secretary of the ANC in the province. In fact, the PEC has mandated me to convene what we will call a credentials committee. Already I'm sitting with a report. Tomorrow we have got the officials meeting that we are going to present and do the assessment. We will go to the PwC, we will go to the PC. You will know that the roadmap is not something which is cast on stone. If you can review, if BGMs are not necessary enough, you extend the days of the BGMs. But like I said, our BGMs ran very fast, smoothly. All of branches have gone to their BGMs, they've been verified. Now what is going to happen? We will review. In terms of the roadmap, on the 29th, we must go, I present the credentials personally to the PEC. Out of that, we start with the pre-registration from the 1st of May. So after that, anything can be able to possible. I think we'll pursue, PEC will pursue the National Executive Committee to consider us giving a conference so that we can prepare policy conference. But you will know, conference by its nature is divisive. The sooner we conclude the business of conference and focus on the renewal program will be very much important, because the main matter is renewal, and the renewal should take place in branches. And once the conference is concluded, we focus on the renewal program and make sure that structures in the province are intact.
Pascop Makamada is the Deputy Secretary of the African National Congress here, and also a delegate to retain, I would say, the candidate rather, to retain the very same position when it comes conference. The conference currently is just scheduled for early June, but as he already put out, that it could be brought through earlier should all the processes that needs to be run are run seamlessly, and of course, the days then, it could be perhaps even in the middle of May, as I've heard already from other sources. For Newzroom Afrika, on Power Channel 405, I'm Pelane Phakgadi.
Right, the political climate in Limpopo, as Pelane reports. Let's